ask our next speaker, Major General MP Singh. He has joined the National Defence Academy and commissioned into the Army in 1974. He has served for the nation for almost 37 years in the Indian Army. He has served in the various capacities in the Defence Forces almost in Pan-India. But his key posting was Commandant Selection Committee at Allahabad, which was considered one of the largest selection centers for SSBs. Regarding his educational qualification, he has done PhD degree in spiritual intelligence from NIT Allahabad, first and the only PhD in that subject, and MTech degree in digital communication from NIT Bhopal. We welcome you, sir. Please come and share your thoughts.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, girls. My name is General MP Singh. For the next 45 minutes or so, I will be talking to you about how to go about preparing for your interview and how to bring about inner transformation for yourself so that you can lead the men properly. After all, you are going to be in contact with men. Unlike IAS officers who have to make policies and do certain work at the very macro levels. You have as captains equivalent to lead the men from the front and by example. You cannot be saying, you go in that area and I'll come in the evening. A man will never respect you. All right. I will be covering with you the officer-like qualities. These are the same qualities which the officers of the Indian Army, Navy and the Air Force have, which you are expected to have. And that is what is going to be tested in your interview. Unless you depict those, we know that you've done well in a written examination. Now, what is being seen in the interview is what you have inside. Conscious level, mind level, we have seen. The subconscious level, what is inside of you, that is very important. How good are you going to be the leaders? Before that, I would like to briefly cover my journey. Though some description has been given about me, I would like to tell you something about myself. Pictorially, I am alumnus of Sainik School, Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. I studied from 1965 to 70, class 6 to 11th. In our time, we used to have only up to class 11. Time kya dikhna jara? I've been given 5:30. So after that, I joined NDA, alumnus of National Defence Academy. I have joined NDA in 1971, January. So you'll all be calculating my age now. These two chiefs, naval chief from my school, he will be the chief next month, my school, Rewa. This is how I looked when I got commissioned as a second lieutenant. We used to have 1 star, not 2, unlike we have now. And then retired as a major general. How scary is this picture? How many people are feeling that it's very different kind of a look? Must be some of you. And 37 years. NIT, MTech, Bhopal. PhD, Allahabad, NIT. At the age of, his age of bar to learn. Take that point. What about this? 50 years of age when I did my digital communication. Believe me, I started feeling inferior from inside because I did my BTech in the year 82. And then when I became a CO, the commanding officer of a unit, I used to command with a cane. I want this by so and so time, not realizing what goes into it. So I felt deficient. Then I decided to do the digital communication. I was from analog communication and I did digital communication at the age of 50. It was very difficult for me, but izzat is more important. If you fail, you will be sent back. I was a very good horseman in my school. I was in the school team. Same thing continued in NDA. I covered all possible equestrian variations in academy. And I was at the national level. When I joined the service, this is the motorcycle team. I joined, that's the core of signal team. You would have seen it on the Rajpath sometime. This is over the men, a leap of 40 feet, 70 kilometers an hour, and this is knee right, header, and this is at the age of 55. So again, is age a bar? Age is no bar. If you wish to decide to do anything, you will be able to do. We rode from Dehradun to Delhi on the horseback, 300 kilometers, 5 days. And team of 10, flagged off by General Sundarji, the Chief of the Army Staff, and via Muzaffarnagar, we reached Delhi. I was instructor in IMA, Indian Military Academy. This is water skiing as a major, and we rode from Delhi to Khardungla, which is beyond Leh, 18,000 feet, Limca Book of Records. Hot air ballooning as a full colonel at the age of 40 plus, whatever. And microlight, again as a major general, 55 years of age, single engine, uncertified, therefore adventure. And I had to take permission from the Deputy Chief of the Army Staff to take part in this, because they do not permit senior officers to take risks like this. But I wanted to do it, and therefore I did. A lot of people told me not to do the motorcycle stunts as a major, because they said you might fall, you will become a low medical category, you will not get promotion and things like that. And my answer was very simple. If I can do it, why should I not do it? If I will not do it, somebody else will do it. And if I have to fall, I'll fall on the roadside also. And therefore I did it. So if you want to do anything, go by your heart. Your brain, your logic will always scare you. Decide to do a thing and do it. Opted for posting to Siachen. This is summer 1990. And being a Reiki Grandmaster, best trainer in the Poonch Lloyd Academy, and presently I am doing this, your IS and CAPF interviews, and SSB as well, and been to Thailand for International Conference on Spirituality, and to Cambodia, to Thailand again, and this is the US online, Brazil online, and this is the Best Energy Healing Award. And been corporate trainer as well, and been given the National Peace Award 2018 by Ayush Minister for spirituality. Energy Healing Excellence Award. Written a book, Quality of Life Through Spiritual Intelligence. You may have any amount of money, you may still not be happy. There might be void inside if you do not have the spiritual bias. So this is all about me. We will now talk about the challenges of CAPF. So what do you think are the challenges? So much of border area to be covered, from Pakistan to Bangladesh to Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, Tibet, and what have you. And also you have to cover the areas like Red Corridor, as we were talking about. It is reduced from this to this over the years, and it will go down further. So these are your challenges where you have to get yourself deployed. You might be deployed and will be, if you're joining ITBP, in areas which will be above 20,000 feet, temperatures minus 40, minus 35. You may be encountering such risks. And drop of the hat, people call you, the state governments call you. And therefore you suffer your training and other things, administration. Just now he was explaining to you, sir, I had explained to you the problems of CRPF. And some of you might be lucky to join NSG on deputation. I have served in NSG from 2008 to 2009. And the problems of CAPF would be isolation. The problems would be that of stress, separation from families. And when you are sitting in the post, you might get some messages like this. And you will be worrying about your children who will be in the village in certain cases where education isn't adequate. And therefore, this is the state. And you as officers, it's your duty to look after your men and make sure they are not into that stress. You have to bring them out. and sometimes if they're not able to handle it, fratricide. If they're not able to do that, yes, and therefore you have to take care of men. I will give you certain glimpse as to how armed forces do it. It's a working model. I'm sure CAPF also has a very good model, but let us study one good model which Army has. I'll show you. So when you have so much of border to guard and so much of Maoism and LWE and all kinds of things happening, so there has to be a jointmanship between all the agencies, the forces of the government. It is not your war, not my war. It is everybody's war. Security for everyone, protection for everyone. Not for, okay, it is CRPF, I'm not bothered. Or it's for the army, I'm not bothered. It's not that. It has to be a joint men effort. All the agencies of the government have to work hand in hand, in concert with each other. So for that, there are a lot of competitions which are held among where people join from BSF, the ITBP, the army, and likewise. Firing is one such competition which happens, and many more. There's again a firing competition. Joint conferences, interaction. What are their problems? What are their problems? What are the common areas? What are the overlapping areas? What are the gaps? All those things are discussed in the conferences. How the resources can be shared, how the intelligence, information, human intelligence, all these things can be shared. That's a very important part. You should not feel shy going to the army, or when they invite you for the conference, or when you invite them for the conference. Do not think they are different people. They are from the same organization wearing different uniform. That's all you can say. Okay. This is another example. See who is leading here. Officer from the CAPF. There is nothing as he is senior or I'm junior or I'm senior. No. Whoever is senior at the spot presides. Again, this is a joint control room, and he is a brigadier, therefore he is sitting on the side, no problem. Army has got no ego. It doesn't mean that CAPF is anything lesser. You are as good as anybody else. That is why you have a singular distinction of carrying out such important tasks. Joint conference again, and I'll show you the synergy between Army and the CAPF. He is the Army Commander, Southwestern, Jaipur. And you have a lot of forces in Rajasthan and area of that. So your leadership therefore would require, because you have tough deployment, risk of life and limb, long working hours, separation from family, and therefore man management takes a very important, it has a very significant role in your life. For administration, for training, for welfare, morale and motivation, and stress alleviation, all those things will be part of your duty. Not only carrying out some training and living in your barracks and the rooms and the office. So we were talking of certain officer-like qualities which are same for you. when he asks you, do you have it in you? What is he asking? What do you have? Officer-like qualities. Then only you can lead the men. Otherwise, why are you an officer? So what are the officer-like qualities? These qualities are bundled up in 4 factors. Factor 1, that of the heart. Factor 2, head. Factor 2, that of the heart. Factor 3, gut. And factor 4, limbs. So the 4 factors, all of them have to be good. You cannot be only good in your mind. You have to have a good heart. You have to be a very effective leader. When you stand, people should recognize you. Yes, he is my leader. Even in the group, when you're working together, you always see that he is emerging as a leader. A leader will always emerge wherever he is. And then the dynamism. These are the 4 qualities. These are the 4 factors in which your officer-like qualities are seen. The first is the factor 1. In factor 1, you have 4 officer-like qualities, and first is the effective intelligence. It is not the same as the reasoning ability or the rational intelligence. It is the ability to understand what the problem is, understand why the problem has occurred, understand what are the resources available to me, how I can optimize my resources so as to achieve my result and bring the optimum result. It's basically problem solving capability. The practical problem solving capability is called the effective intelligence. On ground, you will have a lot of problems sometimes, say in the counterinsurgency area, or you're going for a patrol and you find some mines. No, you can't derive a theorem, Pythagoras theorem over there. This is not the theoretical aspect which you will get into. You will go by the ground, you will go by the practical aspects of it, how you can resolve and how you can take a different route or find some other options of reaching your objective. So that is the practical intelligence or effective intelligence. Is that clear? Ability to respond to practical difficulties which arise. You should not be referring to your commanding officer every now and then, sir, this has happened, what should I do? You must take on the spot correct, appropriate decisions, because you have got more inputs than your CO has. You are on ground, you know what is to be done now, and your men are watching. Second is the reasoning ability. Ability to understand. I will be talking about 100 things. You must understand what are 10 good things about it, and how you can sift that information and bring it in a particular priority. So, ability to grasp, ability to prioritize the information and use it for your practical purposes. Your CO might give you a very long briefing for half an hour. You must know what are the key points in this. Similarly, in the classroom also, your teacher might be teaching you, and 40 minutes he will be talking non-stop. You exactly would know what is important for me in this. That is your reasoning ability. Organizing ability. You will all be the commanders at various levels. You must understand what are my resources, including time. Time is a very important resource. What equipment I have, how many men I have got, and how I can organize this so that I can produce the optimum result that is required, what is expected from my seniors and the situation now. And there should be a satisfaction to you as well, not only your CO or the higher ups. Power of expression is very important. You are going to talk to men, to your seniors, to your colleagues, to the press, to the people, to the media, and therefore your power of expression has to be extremely good. It is not necessary that you should speak English via British, that style. I am coming, you are going, but it should be clear, clean sentence, short sentence. That is what is important. Ability to express what I am saying, you should be able to understand. My perception should go to you, and you should act in the manner which I want you to. That is the kind of understanding we should be able to send out to the other person who is going to implement your thoughts. So you have to be accurate, brief, and clear. ABC is a formula for nobody likes verbosity, including your interviews. Interviews, power of expression is very important. Verbalize. There are some people who are not able, they are good in English, they understand English, that is why you are here, but some people are not able to speak much because they have not had the environment to speak. It is not your fault. Therefore, if you don't find people to speak, speak to yourself. Like thoughts will be coming to you now that after some time, when the break is given to me, I'll go and have a cup of tea. That thought is coming to you, verbalize it. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Because there will be coordination between your thoughts and the muscular movement. More you practice speaking, better you will be at it, because there is no other formula. And normally, who has got greater chance of clearing? The one who has better power of expression. Your interviews are going to be conducted in English. Your curriculum will be covered for during training in English. If you have to brief certain people, in English. If you have to address certain people for motivation, English. If your chief or DG has to speak to the media, English. English is a must for success in military career and the CAPF career. Some people say, I would like to give the interview in Hindi, no problem. There will be no disadvantage to those people, but ultimately English helps. Put it like this. I should knock off this fear. Those people who cannot speak good English, they should opt for appearing in the interview in Hindi and say, sir, I would like to give my interview in Hindi. No marks will be deducted for that. But in SSB, it's a must in armed forces. For you, it is not a must. But if you know English, it's better for you. So we have seen factor 1, there are 4 optional qualities: effective intelligence, reasoning ability, what else? Organizing ability and power of expression. These are all here, therefore called factor 1, power of the factor of the head is that of 1. Yeah, everyone? Right. Factor number 2, very, very important. You might be damn good over here, getting 95% marks, but you will have very few friends if you are not good at factor 2. You will have no respect from the men if you do not have factor 2. You will be, in fact, more dangerous in the system with high this and low this. Believe me, you will be very dangerous. You will misuse resources. You will misuse men. And you will do a lot of damage to the system if you are not good over here. The first quality of factor 2 is social adaptability. There are 4 things you must know your men when you deal with them, because you would have realized that if there are 4 friends, to all of those 4 different friends you speak differently. To your father you speak differently, to your teacher you speak differently, to your friends you speak differently. Why? Because you understand them. So you must understand all the men who you are commanding. You must know their background, their culture, the children, their education, his psyche, his attitude. All this has to be known to you. Then only you will be able to adjust with him, adapt with him. Rather, allow him to adapt with you. Second one is, you must be able to get into the shoes of the other person. What's his problem? You must understand without his saying that he has a problem. And you must reach him out to say, what is your problem? The moment you see in him any body language depicting this kind of a thing. If he is low in his body language, reach him out and say, what's your problem? And give him a solution. Don't say, theek hai, aise hota hai. No. You say, okay, your problem is my problem. You use the sentence. I'm saying, your problem is my problem. Don't worry, ho jayega. And I will request my CO to write a demi-official letter to the DM, demi-official letter to the SP. Your work will be done at home. Don't worry. He's stressed. And the moment you say, don't worry, it will be done. My problem is your problem. Sorry, your problem is my problem. He says, Jai Saab, and his morale will go up. It has to be a proactive stance on your part. Don't wait for him to come and give the problem. You reach out. Don't call people. There will be some seniors who will be wearing junior ranks from you, with the fact, as compared to you. Don't say, hey, Subedar, idhar aao. He'll be offended. He will never be able to contribute adequately into your team. You have to give respect to him. So he is junior to you in the rank. And also you will be posted to one place to another place, one airport to another airport, one metro to another station, all that. And you have to adapt to the new environment, new people, new equipment, new technology. And this is all about social adaptability. It's very, very important for you. Because you might be posted to Siachen, like in our case, or ITBP for some people will be exposed to these things. You might have this kind of a thing. You will be in deserts, in mountains, in jungles, in high altitude areas, in counterinsurgency areas, and whatever kind of operations you're called for. So you have to adapt yourself to all kinds of terrains, climate, people, culture, environment, and equipment, technology. Gentlemen, clear on this part? Cooperation. Only 3-4 points. Unless you cooperate, you will never be accepted as a good officer. Participate willingly in the team, harmoniously in the team, keeping the team aim higher than your individual aim. And whenever there is a clash between your personal aim and that of the team aim or the group aim, you must subordinate yours. Don't be seeking self-glory. Let me give you an example. And remember, collective effort is always more productive than individual effort. Let me give you this example. Now suppose there is this team red, he got the ball here wanting to score, but there are 3 players obstructing him. He has no chance to score the goal. But Vijay says, no, I want to score the goal. Tomorrow morning, the magazine should say, Vijay scored a winning goal. Individual aim. What is the group aim? That the team should win. Now this man here from his team is free. And even saying, give me the ball, he is not passing the ball to him. Now this is cooperation. If you remember football match, that is the cooperation. Clear, gentlemen? Okay. Sense of responsibility. You will be given a lot of duties to perform, and duties will be of 2 types: specific duty and unspecified duty. Specified and unspecified. Suppose you are given a duty to guard this bridge. Now this is a specified duty from 0600 hours, 6th of May to 0600, 7th of May, you're going to guard this bridge with 4 people, 5 people, 10 men, whatever number of men. I will do my 100% to guard this bridge. But if you see that there is a hut burning 400 meters from you and there are 2 children inside, you know about it, your humanitarian angle should now come up and say, okay, I have to come bring them out. And you might say 2 or 3 people to go over there and to douse the fire and bring the children out. Suppose the strength has got depleted, you send some people out and the bridge is captured, responsibility is still yours. So you have to do duty, specified as well as unspecified duty, which you feel is appropriate at that spot, beyond your specified duty. So you can go beyond your specified duty. But if anything goes amiss in the specified duty or in any other duty, you should have the broad shoulders to face the consequences. Ye clear ho gaya? Next point is, whenever you do anything, you have to do within the norms of the discipline. And discipline will be of 2 types, extrinsic and the intrinsic discipline. If somebody tells you to go for PT at 6 in the morning and everybody is watching and waiting, that is not discipline. That is extrinsic discipline. You're going because you're feeling, if I don't go, I'll be punished. But if you're going for cordoning a village, you understand cordon? You have the troops, ek gaon ko gher liya for search, and you go into a hut. You find there is some gold jewelry lying there. You are a man 25 years of age, you got a stain gun, and you know that nobody is ever going to find out what I do here. And still, if you don't fall to that temptation, and still, if you don't take that gold away, without knowing fully well that nobody will ever know about it, that is character. You have to have your character playing always. And that is intrinsic discipline. So whenever you perform any duty in the CAPF, it has to be extrinsic and the intrinsic discipline both. Everything clear on this? So you have to follow the ethics. Chapter 3 is very simple. You have to take initiative. Who will take initiative? Initiative, the person who is confident. You should be self-reliant of your capacity, the capability that whatever I know, I will be able to apply it on ground and do it. There is self-confidence. This is your self-confidence. Self-reliant. You should have the correct evaluation of yourself, what you can do, what you cannot do, and whatever you know you can do, you must do 100%. Anybody who is self-confident, what will he do? He will take initiative. Let's do this. And initiative would mean taking a first step in the unfamiliar direction and then completing it. That is initiative in the interest of the organization. Is that clear? And then you have self-confidence would mean this. I will crack CAPF. I will crack interview. I'll get 120 in my interview out of 150. Okay? If you feel diffident, you won't. If you feel I will, you will. Speed of decision. Let's take a Fauji example. Company commander is sitting in his bunker and a Subedar Saab comes and tells me कि साहब फायर आ गया, दुश्मन का फायर आ गया, और ठीक है, आज क्या है, इतवार है, बुधवार को बताऊंगा. No, you have to take appropriate decision and timely decision. That's called SOD, speed of decision. People are looking up to you for a decision. He has come and said, Jain Saab, fire aa gaya. Now he wants to go back with an order. Give him the order then, with whatever inputs you have got. After 10 days, that order might be wrong, but take the order then. Don't wait. Ability to influence the group. Whenever you will undertake any work, a lot of people will come and tell you, Saab, ye nahi ho sakta, ye aisa problem hai, ye problem ho. You should be in a position to be able to explain to the men that why it is important and why it should be done. And he should accept you as a leader and take your proposition, your idea as his own idea. That is the ability to influence a group. You are always going to be commanding the troops. See him. Who is he? I am personally inspired by him. He came for a passing out parade in NDA, 73. I always liked him. Liveliness. Whenever you are doing things, certain times things will go wrong, but you have to bounce back quickly. Buoyancy you must have. Your men are going to be into low morale if they see the officer getting into low morale. You must be something like a duck. Who has seen a duck? Inside it's paddling and outside its feathers are absolutely unruffled, clean, no water, nothing. Why? Similarly, you should not radiate any fear. Your countenance, your body language should radiate confidence. Okay, inside might be happening whatever, but outside no. Because your expression, your feelings, your body language is going to permeate to the last man of your command. Liveliness. Example, Manik Shah. When doctor asked him, what's happened to you? He says, a donkey has kicked me. His humor was there, even then he had 9 bullets inside him. I don't know if some people have seen Sam Bahadur. Must see it. Factor 4, simple, determination. Nobody has to come and tell you to work. It has to be SP, self-propelled, self-motivated. I need to finish my task myself. No, your father doesn't have to tell you that you have to crack CAPF. You have to decide I have to crack CAPF. And that is your motivation. That is your inner drive, application to work. Until such time, the work is not done, despite the setbacks, I'm still going to crack it. That is the point. There is no light at home, candle, study. Go outside, study. But you can't say, Sahab, problem aage nahi padega. Determination means determination. If I have to finish 2 chapters, I have to finish 2 chapters. Courage, physical and mental, both are important for CAPF. There will be certain situations where you will feel absolutely shattered, but you have to maintain your calm. You have to be composed. You have to remain CCC always, cool, calm and composed, no matter what happens. That is the courage. And physical courage also, ability to evaluate the risk and meet it. When we say ability to meet, it would mean something like this. There is a purpose to it. Now suppose you are meeting and say, okay, you eat me. What will you do? Yes, no. Eat or no? What will tiger do? Eat. Is that courage? It's being foolhardy. You must understand what is the purpose. It has to be purposive risk. It has to be purposive. You should be able to measure, evaluate the risk and have the capability to meet with a purpose. Not Another example here, only 3 men and a commander and surrounded by the enemy, last man, last round. He will not leave the post. That is the courage, because there is a purpose. He cannot abandon his post. Country comes first, men come next, he comes last. And lastly, the stamina, physical and the mental stamina. Certain times you will be in such situations where you will be subjected to protracted stress. For a very long period, you will be under stress and strain. Ability to endure that, physical as well as mental. Are there any doubts in OLQs? Okay, right. My favorite. An officer did not recognize him. He was a major general. He was commanding a division. He didn't shout at him. He said, in my spare time, I command this division. Humor, you must always keep in that mode. Rapport with the locals. Wherever you will have to go to a lot of places, Nagaland, Mizoram, and whatever places, have good rapport with the people around. Jawans, he's sitting with as a chief of the army staff, he's sitting with the men like this, as a lieutenant general. And they're all JCUs. And see the cheer on his face. He's not feeling that I'm sitting next to a Subedar Sahib. No, these are my men. When you get that feeling, you will grow. Okay. Gentlemen, I have arrived, and there will be no withdrawal without the written orders, and the written orders will never come. You heard that? That kind of, where you stand, you are. Okay, there was one battalion, they were hesitant to perform. He sent bangles. And when they did well, he said, please return the bangles. This is how he met people. Prime Minister of the country. See the rapport, see the confidence. You will be meeting chief ministers, you will be meeting a lot of senior officers and the ministers and whatever. Maintain your voice. You are a selected lot. You have worked hard. You deserved it to be wherever you are and wherever you will be. Have the courage of conviction and the courage inside to resign if you're standing for the right thing. He offered his resignation to Prime Minister when he said, we are not ready for war now in the month of April. And I'll tell you when. And that was December. See this picture. What do you understand from this picture? What radiates? What is reaching you? Okay, this girl, what's your name? Khushbu. Keep seated and tell me what it is. What feeling do you get from this picture? Sorry? Empathy. What else do you get from here? Belongingness. My man. No, he doesn't know his name. Bullet injuries. There was a chap who had got 3 injuries. He says, when I was your age, I got 9. And see, I'm chief today. Tomorrow you will be Subedar Major. Interaction with the prisoners of war. He went personally to the people and asked, are there any problems? And one of the Jawans, he took out his turban and put it at his feet. Why was that? And then there was a Safai wala. In the armed forces, we have all trades. Safai wale bhi hote hain. So he went and extended his hand, and he happened to be a Safai wala. He was not wanting to shake hands. He didn't extend his hand. He says, Chief se haath nahi milayenge aap. He kept quiet. Then somebody told him, Saab, ye to Safai wala, bhangi hai. No, he said, you are a man. He shook hand and he started crying. कहते साहब हमारे पाकिस्तान में तो हमसे बात नहीं करते, आप हाथ मिलाते हैं. You have to give respect to humanity. Give respect to your man and see what he does for you. When 93,000 prisoners were brought from Pakistan to India, there were no barracks created overnight. So ad hoc arrangements had to be made. So he asked own personnel, own men, Indian Jawans, to vacate the barracks, regular barracks, and he put them into the regular barracks. He put them up in the regular barracks. And not only this, not only he took the physical care of the need of the physical aspects, also he procured 93,000 copies of Holy Quran and gave to all men. Their higher needs were also met. This is the command. And you must understand from here. Don't just think it's a movie or a story. You can be that. Nobody is a born leader. You have to become a leader. If anyone tells you he is not afraid, he is either a Gorkha or telling a lie. Ayub Khan had taken his motorcycle and not paid 1,000 rupees. And in 1971, he said, you paid with half your country. He never punished anyone in his life. He carried the people. You have to carry the men with you. With a stick, anybody can deal with people. No, it's not easy when you deal with people by your own personality. You must become a towering personality. You must have power and not misuse. In his 90s. This is very interesting. You tell me who to salute first. President Abdul Kalam went to Kannur on an official visit. There he learned Manekshaw is admitted to the hospital. He decided to go to the hospital, though it was not scheduled. He asked his staff to organize. Who will you salute? Abdul Kalam. I will salute him. He goes and sits with him for 15 minutes on his bedside. And at the end of it, he says, do you have any grievances? He says, yes, sir. I am not able to get up for my president. Most honorable president, Your Excellency, I have one grievance. I am not able to get up and salute my most respectable president of my beloved country. Who will you salute? Manekshaw. And he learned that his pay and arrears and the allowances had not been paid as a field marshal. Went back. Within a week, he made a check, got a check made, and sent his defense secretary by a special plane to give him the money, 1.25 crores. Who will you salute? Abdul Kalam. Manekshaw gave that check to Army Development Fund or Welfare Fund. Who will you salute now? Such great people. He has two daughters. He could have given that money to them. A stamp was released. Quickly, sir, I'll take 10 more minutes, if you don't mind. Value-based leadership. I hope you got some lessons out of this. Even if you carry one lesson, I'm happy. It will make a difference in your life. Right? As a commander. You are commanders. आज से commander सोचना शुरू कर दो. अपने चाल में फर्क लेके आ जाओ. शक्ल देखो, शीशे में देखो. You are wearing 3 stars. आज से देखो. And you will become one.
What are you dreaming of? What are you hoping for? A bigger life? A better life? Or a life worth remembering? Truth is, you can study all you want and learn nothing. You can work very, very hard and never bear the fruit of your labor. You can try and try and try and never be good enough. Or you can keep watching. Because the next few minutes will show you a brief glimpse, not of a life you could lead, but of the one you should have. You don't spend this life doing things. You do things to earn it. This is a life where every day isn't every day. This is a career at India's most exciting workplace, the life of an officer of the Indian Army. A life less ordinary.
Gentlemen, there is nothing as runners up in war, victor or vanquished. If you lose a war, it goes into the history and you will never forgive yourself. And therefore, what you see, observe, is in service to others selflessly. Instead of army, now you will replace your own service. Whether it is CISF, whether it is CRPF or anything. Replace the word army with your service. You have to be in service to others selflessly. What do you observe here? There's a bridge, planks washed off. Only you can see the cords, difficult for people to move across, ladies, children, whatever. And they are working as a human bridge. And people with their knees over their backs are moving. Would it not be hurting them? Yes, but why are they doing? Are they getting extra pay for this? No. They're doing it because they are in service to others. Do you think he knows this lady? In service, anywhere, anytime. You've seen the glimpses of this earlier also. Here, Siachen Glacier. These are the crevasses. Crevasses are openings. These openings could be a few centimeters in width, it could be a few meters in width. And they open because there is a differential temperature, night and the day, and there is slight movement. It's a frozen river. Any glacier is a frozen river. This is 300 feet deep, Siachen River, 76 kilometers in length and 1 to 1.5 kilometers in width. When it moves, it cracks. And the crevasses are developed. These are called crevasses and they are negotiated like this. Ice walls, avalanches. When I say anywhere, would mean anywhere. Why does this happen? Because there are some ethos. You also would be having some ethos of your service, of your force. Ethos of the army I will talk about. First is esprit de corps. It is pronounced as esprit. Esprit means, it's a French word. It means bonding. Chief of the army staff, the previous one, goes and visits somebody in the military hospital. All chiefs do it, all commanders do it. He doesn't know his name. Why has he gone there? Because the spirit of comradeship and brotherhood of the brave, regardless of caste, creed, religion. The motto is one for all and all for one. That's why he's gone there. He thinks he is my man, he belongs to me. Self-sacrifice, never to question why, but to do or die. Naam Namak Nishan. Who is he? Santosh Babu. He was 42 years of age. His men were fighting. What for the need? Let the men fight. Why did he go? Because that's call of the duty. He cannot allow his men to fight without he being there. And he gave supreme sacrifice for his country. Valor means Bahaduri. Let me read this out. Before that, there was, just as the story is, there was a post called Kaid Post, which was at a high level, which Sir was also saying, and there was a domination of that area, and therefore that had to be captured, and that was at a very high altitude. This was very difficult project. Okay. Naib Subedar Bana Singh volunteered to be a member of a task force constituted in June 1987 to clear an intrusion by an adversary in the Siachen Glacier area at an altitude of 21,000 feet. The post was virtually an impregnable glacier fortress with ice walls 1,500 feet high on both sides. Naib Subedar Bana Singh led his men through an extremely difficult and hazardous route. He inspired them by his indomitable courage and leadership. The brave Naib Subedar and his men crawled and closed in on the adversary. Moving from trench to trench, lobbing hand grenades and charging with bayonet, he cleared the post of all intruders. Naib Subedar Bana Singh displayed the most conspicuous gallantry and leadership under the most adverse conditions. And for that, he was awarded Paramveer Chakra. And what he did was this: he crossed the crevasses, negotiated, climbed the ice walls 1500 feet high, and hand-to-hand fight ensued, and the post was taken, and it was subsequently called Bana Post. Non-discrimination, very dear picture to me. What do you observe here? Eid function being celebrated and non-Muslims praying together. Very touchy picture. I always display to all people and explain to them, do not go by what is happening today. You are the commanders. When we talk of internal security, this is one of the reasons why internal security problems are created. What happened in Haldwani? It's all because of this. There is nothing as Hindu, Muslim. If you want to be respected in the defense forces or the CAPF, all men are same. Just remember this. If anybody has got any idea that he is my man, that is his man, is this community, that community, I would rather request you to not to join the CAPF. When you come to CAPF, come with an open mind. All men are mine. Like father loves all children, you're going to love all children. Otherwise, don't go. He prays under a common roof, and it is this unique character which makes him bind in a team despite such diversity. How can you go to the war? How can you go in for operations? When you say he is different. For you, all are same. Please take this point. If you've not taken this point, you've taken nothing. You can scrap everything else, but take this point home. And this I've already explained to you. Discipline is a bedrock wherever you go, whether it's CISF or CRPF or ITB. Death to dishonor. A Jawan will rather prefer to die than run away from the battlefield and be coward. Fidelity, courage. Because he knows the last line of defense, he cannot fail the nation. Why this? This is because your beliefs will be changed in the academies wherever you go for training, and therefore your values will change, your attitudes will change, and your behavior that you manifest will change. And that is done in very special manner for you when you join the forces. I'll not touch upon NDA. I'll quickly finish the remaining part. Safety, honor and welfare of your country come first always and every time. The honor, welfare and comfort of the men you command come next, and your own ease, comfort and safety come last always every time. If you think your men are not comfortable and you are comfortable, you are mistaken. You can never be comfortable, in your heart at least. So make sure you must relegate your position when it comes to comfort and safety last. Country first, men next, and you last. Go by this. Keep rooted psych. Keep a good environment with your positivity and remove all negativity of the unit, the people, the personnel with your positive aura. Lead or follow or get out of the way. You cannot say, nahi sab aise hi karenge, nahi to karne nahi denge. That's wrong. If you have a good idea, tell your CEO, sir, can we do it like this? He'll say, okay, yes, no, that is your idea. You are the leader. If CEO has a better idea, let him lead. Do not obstruct. If a task has been given to you and you've done it earlier, or some people have done it earlier, do it. If you feel it's the first time that you're experiencing, create a way of doing it. Don't say, sir, pehle kabhi nahi hua. Your opinion matters. Always give it. Lead by example. You cannot tell your men to come at 6 o'clock when you're coming at 6:20. They will never respect you. They'll talk in langar about you. Whatever you think, say that and do that. Don't have multi-dimensional aspects coming out of you. I'm thinking something, saying something and doing something. No. Men will not respect you. Look after the men, their training, their accommodation, their food, and their education of the children. Everything you have to take care. And you have to take care of your men like the father takes care of his son or the daughter. There are 10 ways of not doing a thing. What next? There is only one way of doing it. What next? That's it. No yak yak, no check check. Task given, done, sir. When a job is done well, you must tell people, sir, my boys have done it. And when things go wrong, sir, I'll take care of it. Meaning to say, credit is theirs, this credit is mine. Don't blame your men. Your gain is not my loss. And when you come in the forces, all your aspects, the physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual will be taken care of. You will be a balanced, well-rounded personality. All right. Thank you so much.